It's your girl Hannah. Welcome back to another vlog, y'all. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn all post notifications on so you'll be notified every time your girl upload a video. If you're not new here, welcome back. Hey girl, hey. This is the raw and unfiltered over here on this channel. Girl, is you gonna let me talk today? That's my baby Mina, y'all. She babbling. She learned to talk. She has learned and discovered that she has a voice. What is you saying? Saying everything but mama. Mina, say mama. Mina, say mama. She's trying to mess up my thing, y'all. Mina, say mama. Anyways, y'all, so today's video I'm gonna do basically I'm going to be doing a like something like a story time, but then also I want y'all feedback because this is crazy what I'm about to tell y'all. This is crazy. Okay, so I'm just dive right in this video. Yeah, let's get straight into it. Alright, so I'ma just say, like, family can be a mother, if you know what I'm saying. Like, family can be something else, y'all. I'm kind of like at this point in my life where I'm like washing my hands, kind of done. Well, not kind of, I'm done. It's crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. It's crazy. So let me give y'all a little backstory. So, me and my mom, my biological mom, we're not close. We don't have a bond, like that or whatever. Simply because, when I was younger, a baby, my grandmother raised me. So I've been with my grandmother since birth, and off and on a little bit with my mother, like, I would say maybe like 7, 8 to 12 or something, like off and on in between there. Anyways, so, and I think that's simply because my grandmother was trying to give my mother the benefit of the doubt and, let her have hands-on with me as well. But that just never ended well. Or never went well. Because, okay, so my mother, she was, after she conceived me, her and my biological father, I guess they chose not to deal with each other, so they parted ways. So I was brought, in this world, without my father being present. So my mother started dealing with another man, which is not my father, of course. But he is the father to my other 3 siblings, my sisters. So they share the same father. So being that I was not raised in the home and close, like, with my sisters, there was always, mistreatment, or, like, her boyfriend would always mistreat me ever since I was a little girl. I can't speak on prior to when I was, as young, I can't remember. But I can speak on what I do remember. And all the things I remember was him mistreating me, but simply because I was not his child. He would tell my other sisters that they were my half sisters and that they was not my real sisters, and not to call me or consider me as their sister, their real sister. So he kind of instilled that into my siblings, and my mother allowed him to do so. She stayed with this man when he mistreated me. He used to abuse me, verbally, physically, mentally, everything you could think of. Like, it was done. And she still decided to stay with this man. Now, as I'm an adult, I'll never understand why or how you could put a man before your child, or why you just couldn't walk away from this man, and why you just allow certain things to take place and happen. And it's like childhood trauma because, of course, you know, that affected me. And I had to carry that all the way up until I'm grown. So, and it was like I said, my grandmother raised me. She took very good care of me. She loved me unconditionally. Her and my grandfather, they considered me like I was their own child. You know, I called my grandmother my mother. Ever since I was little, I was like, that's my mama. That's what I called her. And, you know, she took very good care of me. I never wanted or needed for anything with my grandmother. So this man has done things as far as pulling. When I was 12 years old, he pulled a gun on me. He said he wanted me out of his house. He wanted me to get out. He was gonna kill me. He was gonna shoot me. I remember backing up on the porch, you know, like crying, looking at my mother stand there, like, you know, you're not gonna call the police. You're not gonna remove this man. You allow him to pull a gun on me. Like, it's just crazy. Like, he would lock me outside of the house. You know, me and my little sisters, you know, we would, you know, have our little times where we argue or fuss with each other like siblings do. And he would take me and put me outside and lock me out the house for long periods of time in the heat. Didn't matter what type of weather. My mother, she would stand in the doorway. She would watch him beat me, like, and she would not stop him. He would beat me to the point, like, every time I would go to stand up and drop to the floor, like, he would just keep beating me down. And I remember my mother just standing in the doorway looking at him. I do remember, you know, certain encounters where she was like, you know, that's enough. But he would still do it. So it's like, yeah. So it's like, I just, you know, I was a broken little girl. Never understood it. So, I mean, like, it's just crazy. He would call me names. He would call me a fat. When I was a little girl, he would call me a fat little bitch. Like, he would just say everything to me. Like, just, I don't know, for no reason. Because I was not his child. He just had a hatred and a dislike for me. I wasn't his. And he made that be known. So, like I was saying, being that y'all got a little backstory on, you know, that and how that, you know, some things that, you know, that's not even half or close to half. It's a lot of stuff I can say and tell y'all all day. But what I wanted to get on here and say is that, okay, so this is what took place. All right, so now that you know that, me and my mother, we don't have a bond. We're not close. You know, as I got older, I tried to okay. Hold on, y'all. Mina doing something. Who you got? Today. I put some in your mouth. So, let me say. Nah. But yeah, so anyways, so being that we're not close or whatnot, so there's been a couple incidents, you know, like it caused, you know, me and my sisters not to be as close. But as I got older, I tried to, you know, my grandmother passed, my grandmother, she passed, the one that raised me. So it's kind of like ever since then, and she's all I ever had. Her and my grandfather passed. But before my grandfather passed, my mother turned my grandfather against me. So, and it's crazy how she was even able to do that, but she did. She, you know, twisted up ever and, you know, with the situation that I had going on, and she knew how my grandfather was. He was a very, you know, particular man, worrisome, you know, like very kind of like strict almost. So she knew what to do. and how to do it. So she did that. She turned him against me before he passed. So I never got to make that right with him. He took sick with stomach cancer. I wasn't able to make that right with him before he passed. So then, like I said, my grandmother got sick and she passed. So she was all I had. So ever since then, like, I still, no matter how many times this lady didn't walk away from this man, how she treated me, or how I saw that, I was being shadowed out. I still, love this woman because I feel like she's my biological mother. There's still room for us to, like, work on our relationship and bond as mother and daughter. But no, that cannot be. It cannot be and will never be at this point because it's just crazy. I tried so many times, but it's like they just make it so blatantly known that I'm the outsider. Like, I'm not. And she allows it. Like, she don't never put her foot down. She don't stop it. So it just continues. So there's been times where, like, when my sisters will go through their hard times in life, and she'll always have the door open for them, and they're always able to go back home, if they need to, until they get their stuff back together and to, get back out there. But it's been times where I failed many times, and the door was not open for me like it was for my siblings. And I simply know that because of, who she's with. I'm not his child, so I'm not welcome in the home like that. There's been time, and I'm not saying, I'm a grown woman now, she's not obligated to take care of me anymore. And I'm not saying take care of me. I was just saying, like, when I fall down, to be that mother, to be there, be there for me through a hard time, and, have a door open for me. Like, I'm not going to speak on every parent, but with my kids, whatever they go through in life, as long as I see that they're trying and they have good intentions, my door will always be open for my babies. Like, it'll always, there's no doubt. Like, my door will always be open for my babies. I'm going to love on them unconditionally, and I'm here for them, and I'm going to help them in whatever way I can help them. And I treat all my kids equally the same. I don't have a favorite. I don't have a favorite child. I love all my kids the same way, but it's not the same thing as what my mother do. So, this particular time, it was Mother's Day. So, two of my sisters were living at this time. Two of my sisters was living with my mother, and one of them was not. So this was Mother's Day, like I said. So prior to Mother Day, I know I don't go over there quite often because, like I said, I don't like the energy. I don't feel like I'm not welcome. There's been times I pulled up in the yard and she'll call me before I even get to the doorstep and be like, oh, well, why didn't you call before you come? Or today's not a good day, Hannah. So just call me later. I'll call you when I get up. Or, like, it's not a good time. You're going to have to come back. Or, I'm not home. It's just like, you can basically, a person, I'm not slow. So I can basically, understand what you're saying. You don't want to see me. You don't want me at your house. So, and I'll be bringing her grandkids to see her, like I said, but she don't have no interactions with them like that. And because he don't have a hatred for me, and it's hard, he dislikes my kids. And if he attached to me, he don't like it. So, he don't like my kids either. He'll walk past me, he won't speak to him. And there's an incident where, like, it's emergent. Sometimes it was emergent that I needed her to watch my kids. And I wouldn't even want to leave them there. But I know, like I said, it was emergent situations at times where I literally had no one to watch them for me. So I had to take them there with her, and you know, my babies are a little older, they can talk, they have phones. So, you know, I had to do what I had to do at that time, a certain time. But there would never be a time where my kids come back and tell me that things were okay. It was always a problem. And there'd be a problem with him. He would end up mistreating them or saying something to them, making them cry or, you know, picking or, you know, like just that. So I'm like, okay. And he even locked my daughter out. So when I started seeing certain things that he done to me, and he started to treat them down to try to do it to my kids, that's when I drew the line. Like, you did that with me, you're not gonna do it to my kids. So my kids are not never gonna come back around. And she allowed it like she allowed it with me. So this particular time, y'all, it was Mother's Day. Prior to me coming, my sister, like I said, one of my sisters was saying that she was gonna do my hair that day before. So I texted my sister and I was like, can you got my hair or whatnot today? And she was like, well, you know, this is not my house, so you're gonna have to, ask mama now. So being that I don't talk to him like that, I texted my mother to ask her. So when I texted to ask her, she was like, Mila, you is loud, girl. When I texted to ask her, she was like, she was like, today's not a good day, so you can come tomorrow when I'm off, which tomorrow is Mother's Day. The next day when she said tomorrow was Mother's Day. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, so being it's Mother's Day, I'll just go get some flowers, a card. Like I said, I'm trying to work on our relationship because it's not really there. So I'm trying to, bond with her. So, she was asking, and I texted her, I was like, well, make sure, everything is fine before I come, because I already know how he was. And so, and I figured him having common sense, his Mother's Day, if the daughters come there to spend time with their mother, that would be fine. Well, baby, was I in for a rude awakening. And I kind of shouldn't have been surprised because of how I've been treated before and prior. So it's like, I don't know. But I guess there was a little bit of hope. I was thinking that maybe she would this time stand her ground and, make things right. But she did. So when I got there, my sister, when I pulled up, I noticed my mama's truck was not there. So when I pulled up, my sister came out before I could get all the way on the steps. And she was like, today not going to be a good day. So I was like, what you mean? And I got me and the kids in mind. I got me and my kids, and I got flowers and her card and stuff like that. Thinking, everything Gucci. So she was like, today not going to be a good day. So I was like, well, why you say that? She was like, it's not going to be a good day. So I'm like, what? I said, well, I already talked to mama yesterday. And she said, to come today. She was going to be off. So she was like, I don't know. So I was like, okay. So boom, I go walk in the house. Immediately run into him in the kitchen. He kind of like blocking the way. He was like, what going on? And I was like, what you mean what's going on? It's Mother's Day. I was like, hello to you. Like, how you doing? I'm here, to spend time with my mother. I bought her flowers and, we just going to spend time with her. He was like, no, you're not. He was like, ain't none of that going on in my house today. And I was like, what you mean nothing going on in your house? That this is where I'm already knowing, like, I'm about to flip. So I'm like, what you mean nothing going on in your house today? Like, this is my mother's house because my mother purchased that house. House is hers. But mind you, this man has never worked like this. He's always leech off my mother. She always worked, took care of him type of, yeah. So he ain't never paid no bills. This man is so slack. He is never taking out trash. He will let the trash pile up in the house before he won't touch it. He'll tell his daughters to go put the trash in their car. The trash is not even allowed in his vehicle. He'll make his daughters go out and drag the trash out. He won't take trash. He don't pay no bills. Barely washes. Like, just disgusting. Leech. I don't even understand, like, how my mama could even stay and be with a man. Like, that is just disgusting. Anyways, that's not the point of what I'm trying to make right now, y'all. That's a whole nother topic, y'all. But anyways, y'all, I'm like, I'm here to spend time with her. He was like, ain't none of that going on in my house today. So I was like, the last time I checked, this is my mother's house, and I'm here to spend, I'm her daughter, and everybody, all my other sisters are here. I'm here to spend time with her. So he was like, ain't none of that going on, so you might as well go ahead and take the kids and leave. So then we get to arguing. So I'm like, she didn't talk to him? Like, what is going on? So apparently my sister already knew what I was walking into before I ever walked into. And that's why I was like, that's what got me questioning, like, damn, you my sister. You could have called me, give me a heads up before I even got to the house. You know I was coming too. You could have called me if you know what type of time it was going to be and let me know that before I even got there so it wouldn't have escalated and got into, not blaming her, but you get what I'm saying? She knew what I was about to walk into. That would have been my sister. And the love I had for her and knowing how she would be was being treated, I would let my sister know, like, sis, it's not that type that she can go bad today because, you know, blah, blah, blah here, or he's going to flip on you. Like, I would let my sister know. I didn't think about to let her walk in the lion's den and not tell her nothing. So, me and him arguing. He telling me I gotta leave, I need to leave, and talking about, I don't know, or talking about, I'm taking her out tonight. I'll take her to get flowers. She don't need those flowers you got. I'll take her out to eat. Talking about, so she don't need none of that stuff. And I like basically trying to say, like, my flowers, everything I got for her was shit. It was nothing. But what he got for her was better. It was like competing almost with me, like, and this is my mother. And then he had the nerve enough to say, I'm like, what is you talking about? This is my mother. And he was like, no, that's my mama. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what? You sound so dumb. What are you talking about? He says that's his mother. And that she don't need the stuff that I got. That he's buying her stuff. And that, and he was like, anyways, I have company coming over today at my house. My homeboys and my mama and my family's coming over here. So, and you can't do all that stuff. You can't be here and you can't do all that stuff in my house today. So he goes on to say after that time about taking her out, that now he's got homeboys. So he's basically just saying anything to me at this point. Making up shit. So telling me that he gonna have all his homeboys and all this. So like, this is mother. As I go on to tell him, like, this is not Father's Day. This is Mother's Day. And I'm here again to spend time with my mother. So at this point, I'm trying to get her on the phone. Because my temper is I'm about to spaz. Like, so I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go to 0 to 100 real quick. Because that's the type of time he had me on. So I call her. She's like, well, I'm about to pull up. Mind you, my husband, he outside because he was going to drop me off. So, you know, because he don't mix with them like that or whatever. So he was like, asking if I was good. But, you know, before I get 9, I was saying, yeah, but he still stayed. So I guess he already knew, like, it was going to be some bullshit. So he stayed. He was outside. So my husband was outside, and she was like, she was about to. So she pulls up. And she's just like, what's going on? This and that and the other. And I'm like, telling her, like, before she even got in the house, he was like, and if, he was like, And she didn't tell me nothing about this today. She didn't talk to me about you coming over and the kids coming over. That was not mentioned to me because she already know I would have told her no. And I'm like, what is what? And he's like, if she don't like it, she can get her shit and she can leave too, because it's my house and my rules. So anyway, she walking up or whatever. So I'm like, she's like, what's going on? I'm telling her what's going on. And she gonna be like, they gonna switch around, be like, oh, I ain't tell her that. Try to make it like he ain't tell me nothing like that. So I know I ain't told her nothing that she couldn't be here. I didn't tell her nothing like that. Mind you, my two sisters are standing in there. They hear everything he's saying. Not one time did my sisters come to my defense and say, Daddy, you did tell her that. You did say that. Like, why you lying now that mama here? They stood right there and said nothing. So she was like, he was like, I ain't never told her that this. I'm just trying to see what she doing or what she got going on today, because I didn't know about anything. And try to play innocent shit or whatever. So then she gonna go on to say, well, she gonna look at me and say, she was like, well, Hannah, what is it that you want to do today, honey? Like, what is it that you wanted to do? What? You just asked me, what is it that I wanted to do today on Mother's Day? Y'all, I cannot be making this shit up. Do you feel me? Like, I cannot be making this up. I was like, what? And y'all, my heart was so hurt. So hurt. I'm like, how you gonna ask your daughter, what is it that I wanted to do? I'm like, look, I come here to spend time with you, me and the grandkids, my kids, come to spend time with you, and I bought you flowers and stuff. Like, it's Mother's Day. I thought I was gonna be able to spend time with you, this and that and the other. And he was like, ain't nothing. She looked at him and he was like, ain't none of that going on today in my house. No, we not doing that. She might as well go ahead and leave and this and that and the other. So, y'all, not one time did my mother say he was wrong. Not one time did my mama correct him. Not one time did she told him that my daughter was going to stay and this is my daughter and she's here for me. She didn't say none of that. None of that. So, this is where shit went real left. So then my kids, their cousins was in there, which my sister kids, their cousins was in there. His grandkids. They was in the living room, and my kids, when they heard us arguing and fighting, they already was outside on the porch. So my daughter, in the midst of us arguing and all this chaos, my daughter goes to walk through to go sit with her cousin, which my sister baby in there. He gonna look at my daughter and he gonna say, oh, no, where you going? Where you going? Turn around, go back out. So y'all, when he told my daughter that, I flipped the out. Like, that was it. That was it for me. So, I started tearing up. Like, I started tearing shit up. I started trying to fight him because, like, you not about to play by my kids. You not going to play with my kids. You play with me, but you not about to play with my kids. And I mean that with everything. So, that's when, like I said, I started trying to fight him. And that's when my husband, he done ran in the house, he was already like on the porch, close in the door, but he came, ran all the way in there. He snatched me up or whatever because I was literally trying to fight this man. Because I'm like, who are you playing with? Like, I'm tired. And as I'm crying and cursing and trying to fight and got all this built up in me for all the years, like, I'm crying and I look at my mama. And she kept saying, oh, it's not like that. It's not like that. When it was exactly fucking like that. And you did nothing. Y'all, when I tell you my heart was just like, it just was shattered. Like, it was broke. broken. Because I'm like, damn, I'm grown now, and you still allowing this man to treat me this way. You still don't want that bond with me. So at this point, I'm like, it's just not that. I'm like, okay, I had to come to my sense. I'm like, I took that hurt and I left. I left, y'all. I left on Mother's Day. I left. Don't you know that my mama, when I left that house that day, and he told me when my husband was carrying me out, he's like, I don't never want that bitch back at my house. She ain't said nothing either, right? So don't you know my mama didn't call me? She ain't call me. She ain't try to check up on me. She ain't get in her truck. She ain't follow me. She ain't did none of that. She stayed. She stayed with that man, and that man stayed in that house with her. Don't you know that my other sister, the one that doesn't live there, she made her way on down there and she went down there. Listen now, I didn't know that she was coming down there. Well, I kind of figured, but because it was Mother's Day. But I didn't know since everything happened. I didn't know that everybody was still going to get up like nothing ever happened. So, I didn't find this out until I left. When I left and was on the way out to go back home, I was so upset, y'all. My blood pressure was high. I would start having, like, breathing problems. I had to pull over side of the road, so I had to try to get myself together. So, my husband, I guess, ended up calling one of my sisters. My sister that was at the house, she called my husband. Something like that, y'all. Anyway, she rode down there. He told her we was side of the road, and she came down there. And she was like, trying to see if I was all right or whatever. And then all of a sudden, my other sister pull up, the one that don't live there, and they don't stay in the city. So she pull up, and I was surprised. I'm like, okay, damn, I thought she wasn't, here, around. So she pull up, and my other sister said that she had came from my mama's house. So as they're trying to, I guess, console me or try to calm me down, I'm sitting here thinking in my head, both of y'all pull up. Both of y'all just come from my mama's house. So y'all over there, and then it's crazy. Like, listen to this. They're all over there, right? All the other sisters are together over there with my mama. My other sister that was don't stay in the city, she was like, I didn't even know all this is going on. I just come to see mama and to, get my plate of food or whatever and to eat with everybody. She was like, I didn't know all this was going on. I just came down here. So, y'all was welcome and could come in the house and spend time with mama because that is their daddy. That's his biological daughters. So they were allowed to go in there and spend time with my mama and to eat and to do whatever. They wasn't kicked out, but they were allowed because they're his. I wasn't allowed because I wasn't his child. And after all that, my sister still gathered up and was together at that house together with my mama. So I'm like, damn. That ain't enough for you to see, like, you as a mother, like, damn, you just run my oldest daughter off. And you let our other kids come here and don't say nothing to them. Like, you wrong. You ain't say that. She didn't say that. So that's why I was like, I'm washing my fucking hands. I'm done. I cannot make my mother love me. And I'll be damned if I keep trying to bond with someone who don't want to fucking bond me. So I said I'm done with this shit. Y'all drop in the comments what y'all think about this for real. Because this, I already made up my mind that I'm done on washing my hands. And I said I was done with the situations. And I feel like my sisters be on some snake shit sometimes too, because that's why I was like, at this point, I'm just going to wash my hands of my family, period, because I just can't be on that weird shit. Like, I can't just be on that type of time that they on. It's just like, it's bad energy. And I'm like, y'all see what going on. And it's like, it's whatever. So I don't talk to my mama at all no more. I cut ties with this lady. She is trying to reach out to me. And I'm not talking about after this incident at all. It has been months since that, Mother's Day, and since that taking place. Don't you know, just the other day, like 3 days ago, this lady just reached out to me after months that this taking place. She reached out to me and was like, I hope you're doing well. Just want you to know I still love you and da-da-da-da. What? Like, I miss me with that bullshit. Miss me with the shit, because I already know that shit is not real. Like, okay, so I didn't even respond. Everything don't need a response. And I sure didn't respond to that. I left that shit on red and blocked it, and I went on about my day. Because like I said, I'm done on washing my hands of that, because for you to treat your own child like that you birthed, I'm like, damn, I know you didn't keep me at birth. So maybe that's, you can't bond with something you didn't keep. So I'm guessing that's why you don't have no attachment to me. And my sisters don't bond with me because I guess simply because we wasn't raised in the household together. It's different when you're in the household together and you grow up together like this versus you in separate households and, like you're my sister, but we don't grow up together. So it's not as close as you would be if you were in the same house growing up together, if you know what I mean. Then you know what I mean. So I guess that's why my other sisters don't bond me or whatever, and it's not there, but it's like, even that I didn't grow up in the house with them, I still love them unconditionally, like them my sisters, like, but it's not the same. I don't get the same back. So it's like, all I can do is just wash my hands and be done with it. So that's it, basically. And like I said, she reached out to me a couple days ago, and then she reached out to me again, saying about, the kids just started school, whatever. So she was like, I hope they had a good day back to school. I still didn't respond to her. She sent me something the other night, basically saying life too short, this and that and the other. But no, you chose that shit. Yes, you're my biological mother, but you chose to put a man before me. You chose to hurt your daughter and to allow that man to break and hurt your daughter as she got older. And you still allowing it. There's no stopping it. So you can't love me. You don't love me. And I'm like, why even keep reaching out for me? Because the shit is not real. You know what I'm saying? So y'all drop in the comments how y'all feel about that. What's y'all opinions on that? Y'all done got the story. Y'all done got the tea. So y'all tell me what y'all think. But that, as far as that situation, I'm wrapping that shit up and I'm done with that. And I'm moving forward in my life. And, like I said, family can be here sometimes, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Like, she can have that, and she's still with this man. Like, she can have that. So, I'm done with it, y'all. But, until next time, I will see y'all in my next vlog. And I'm going to start uploading. I'm going to try to start uploading every day for y'all, or every other day. Because I have been absent from my channel for a very long time. And I know I said I was going to give y'all raw content. So that's what I want to do. I want to keep these videos rolling for y'all. So y'all make sure y'all give me a big fat thumbs up. Let me know if y'all, what kind of vlogs y'all want to see. If y'all just want to see day in the life. And I'm going to be giving it to y'all raw and uncut in a filter, baby. But until next time, I love y'all besties. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.